let's try that this time. So it'll launch YouTube or to launch Twitch. But if I launch them both, oh man, does anybody have help with Meld? And pick up my mic. Hey, Kelly. I finally had to just turn the other one off and try it again. Anytime I try to use the two programs, it's fighting it. So it's like literally if I come to YouTube, I can launch on YouTube. But if I launch Twitch and YouTube at the same time, it turns my YouTube private into a private link. It is the weirdest thing. So it's like, okay. And then I can't get the chat to show again. So all this week, me programming and putting all that in is now gone again. I'm so frustrated. Oh, because I had the top part of the chat was the YouTube, so you could see yourself on screen, and then the bottom portion of that was the Twitch, because I've got the graphic designer who's working on making me chat boxes on either side of the main screen, because I want the chat from both places to be able to show up. And I'm frustrated. See, and I can't even get the chat to show up in the Meld Studio. I actually have to pull up YouTube and watch YouTube to pull the chat out. It was supposed to be so much more simple than this. I don't want to pay StreamYard's almost $500 a year to be able to do it. I don't want to. I could use that money for something else. There's got to be a different way. I just haven't figured it out. No, I have. Kelly, I've been working on this since last week when we did it. That's why I actually had like the YouTube Studio launched in the private mode, because I've been testing it in like the private mode. But then when I changed it back to put it into the public mode, then we went here. We went where I can't run the Twitch, and then the YouTube Studio then goes into the private mode, even though I've reset it to the public mode. It's a mess. Oh, I'm taking a sip of water. Oh well, it'll be what it'll be. So I can either do, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe I switch it off. Maybe one part of the week I cover something over on YouTube, and then the other part of the week I pop over on Twitch. And no baseball bats. No baseball bats. And maybe just rehash it out after I've thought about it a little bit. Like we were doing earlier when we were popping things back and forth to each other. That maybe I've already hashed it out once on YouTube, and maybe then it's rehashing it over on Twitch. Yeah. No. No, after losing the internet last night when I was trying to do this, and then the previous night with the power surges and losses. I don't want to. I don't want to threaten it. I just want it to work. It just, you know what it is? I'm plug and play, damn it. I want to look at I mean, watching the videos and stuff doesn't do it for me. I know a lot of people, there are some things that I can catch by video, but trying to do this programming of this, no. I just, it's like, just see my little list on the screen? See my little list on the screen? Give me a list like this 1, 2, 3, 10. I want like bullet point. Help me fix it. I don't know. Or somebody else set it up and then just let me take it over. And then if it needs to be updated, I'll bring it to you. Oh, it's either laugh or cry. So I'm not crying right now. Uh, so, anyway, what I was fuming over a little bit ago, you know, but a lot of them just use their phone and put it in their face and do it. That's not what I'm trying to do. So mine is a little bit different than a lot of people do. I get that. Mine should actually be simpler. A lot of people use their phone for stuff. And it's like I'm using the desktop. I have integrated stuff here that I want to be able to pull up. So, yeah, I want it to work. So, I don't know. What do you think we should cover? Should I cover the law enforcement stuff as I'm seeing it? Because the last thing I literally just saw was the priest in Illinois getting shot in the head by pepper balls. Um, and I'm not a religious person per se, but and I'm not. I'm agnostic. I literally am just agnostic because I don't know. Who are we to say anything is for sure? And that's my personal thing. I don't know. I'm conflicted because I have my native roots. We have things that way, and then I've got my other part of the family who are Catholic, and then I've got another part of the family who are Mormon, and then the Lutherans, and then the Pentecostals. And that's the thing. So it's like there are like the Hinduism and the Buddhism, and like my little brother more leans more toward Buddhism than anything. And it's like, who are we? Who are we to tell anybody else what their beliefs are? I have a hard time with that because how do we know in the end? We're not going to know until we know, and for all we know, it's just a big black nothingness. It just is over. Mm, I don't know. I think my thing is my thing is but let people believe what they want to believe. Why are you trying to push something else on somebody else? If it does it for you, it's fine. If that's what you believe, it's like I just it's tough. It's tough because everybody believes differently. I mean, look at how people interpret the passages and things like that. I mean, it's just it's like telephone. You can hear it one way from somebody else, and somebody else interprets it the different way, and then there's the red text, and it's like, hello, just if you want to go, but don't push it on anybody else. Hang on, I got a cough again. That's the problem with streaming. When you get to talking, it's like all of a sudden you get a tickle in your throat. Yeah. I mean, and that's how I feel. It's like my whole thing is I am agnostic because I question everything. So, yes, the priest getting in the head, hit in the head with the pepper balls infuriated me because um those officers I- and I'm not one to really talk about law enforcement in a negative light unless I actually know that they are doing something wrong. That officer has not been properly trained. You do not use non lethal projectiles and shoot somebody in the head. You just don't. If you have to resort to that, you're in the wrong job. Um, just like the officer the other day, or I can't even call them officers. I don't know what they are. I do not know what they are out in front of what was it, Portland, when the young girl was yelling at the officers. If you are out on the streets and you can't abide by somebody yelling at you, that's not the job for you because that's going to happen. That happens to these poor kids at the restaurants. I mean, so you can't take somebody confronting you, and yet it happens to the kids at the fast food restaurants. They take the abuse just like you do. They just don't have a way of going back. And I keep looking at all the things that I've seen come across the last couple of weeks. And it's like it's kind of culminated for me because I know and love people who are in law enforcement, who are in the military, who would not cross those lines, and they uphold their oaths and they do it for their communities. And then you've got the shitty ones. And my whole thing with all of this right now is what are these guys getting trained? And I think that's part of it. I think whatever's going on right now, there needs to be some serious training. Um, I looked at like the happenings, like in Portland between Portland PD and their sheriffs. Everything was handled this time around. Nobody was called in. The detention center was fine until somebody started making waves and then stirring people up. They were having little bouts. I mean, I'm sorry, I have seen the frog video. I've seen him dancing, and I've also seen them using the pepper spray in his intake, and that's not cool. I personally think, you know, and I really wish, mm, I really wish somebody else would take over and run for sheriff. I don't know what the qualifications are out there, but definitely I've heard a lot of negative things coming, not just from you, but others over the years. I mean, and it's like, why is it always in these certain places? Why do they always get the worst elected sheriffs? Hang on, coughing again. Okay, better. Yeah, I don't understand it. Um, my husband's former department, they were terrific. They were terrific. I mean, we're talking work with the community. And Kelly, that's all top down. That all comes from the sheriffs and the chain of command. And a lot of people don't understand. They may feel like they have to fit in. And here's the thing, if you're law enforcement, you do your job. You do your job. Some days are going to be better than others. But I'm going to tell all of them they need to pick up a criminal justice 101 book and make sure they're doing it right, because you're going to have to cover your ass before it becomes a bohica moment. Because a bohica moment is going to cost you not only your career, it could cost you your freedom. Because if you do it wrong and you get prosecuted, you could lose it all. You could cost your family, you know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I even knew, like, when my husband was with the Coast Guard, my what I did also reflected on him. My husband with his department, things that I did could also reflect on him, and I knew that. I went in very aware of that. So we didn't pull any bullshit. I mean, just I could tell stories. I could tell stories. I mean, there are a couple of people who were with my husband's department that it was like, yeah, I don't kind of really like that person. So I stayed away from them. Hey, Rudy. How are you? Yeah. I mean, I get that icky feeling from some people. So it's like, no, I don't want to be around them. You're up in Palmer. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else is close to Palmer. Hang on a second. I got to cough again. Dang it. All right. I should have brought another bottle of water in here. um, Look it, I'm getting sidetracked again. This happens every time. Mm, okay. 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 It's like it's tingling my memory, but it's like it's been forever since I was up there. So it's been forever since I even pulled up a map and looked up for up there. Um, my family is over off the like the Nenana, over in that area. I've got some there. And then, of course, I think almost everybody has family in Ketchikan, Ketchikan, but it's always been called Ketchiman as far as I'm concerned. Um, Now I've completely forgotten where I was. Oh, like the ones with my husband's department. There are some people that I just got an icky feeling about. And so I stayed away from them and learned that my gut was right, because those ended up being people who were shown off the premises because shit came out on them. So, yeah, listen to your gut instincts. But so many people don't understand like where law enforcement are and military are kind of coming from, because a lot of them, they're young. They don't know things. They don't know that they can question things. Um I love the departments that literally start them out, go through the big training, put them in through like the jail system so that way they know what happens in the big boy jails, and they get the training in there where you typically can get an officer backup within like 30 seconds to a minute. So it gives them a way to build themselves up in knowledge in a safer environment, and also where they can get their command presence, to learn how to play verbal judo, because that's 99% of the time that's what an officer is going to need. You are going to need to learn how to do that verbal judo. And it sucks that so many, I can't even say so many, because historically and statistically speaking, it is less than 0.001% of law enforcement who crosses the line. And that is like facts and figures for over 60 years. Not all counties, Kelly. Not all. There are some who are brought in just for patrol. Yeah, no, there's some. And then the PDs um, don't all have a jail facility. So no, not in California. I wish all of the counties in California started them all off there, but no, it would be nice. I know, and they have some of the worst reputations. You say Riverside like that, and they have some of the worst reputation, but I think that stems from their elected and who he has brought on board. I don't know the undersheriff there, but I know that their sheriff over there is pretty controversial on things. So let's see. Oh, Rudy, you're what, 2 hours behind this time of the year? Because Hawaii's what, 3? I'm trying to think. Sidetracked again. So yeah. Um Riverside, they've got a bad reputation, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's top down, but I know that like all of their training officers and stuff, man, I hope they're working with their. Oh, so it's okay, -1 this time of year. Okay. Um yeah, I hope that they're kind of changing that, but it's hard when you don't have a sheriff who is is into community. They are as well. Um, I think most of them, kind of southern desert, have a pretty bad reputation, and I think that's because people who they elect. That's the shitty thing. I mean, last I heard, I mean, don't get me wrong, LA sheriffs have had some issues, but for the most part, they've been pretty good. Um, LAPD, it's like, man, they go through a rotation of where they get shit cleaned up, then it falls back again. Then they get shit cleaned up, and then it falls back again. And it's like, it sucks for them. I hate it. It depends on where, Rudy. It really depends on where. I mean, it, I just I don't understand some of the valley, the Southern Valley, the Central Valley, and then the Northern Valley. I don't get it. It's like from where I'm up from Northern California, La Malfa was our LA sheriff or LAPD. Because I cannot remember if this is this new guy a Fruit Loop compared to the previous one? Because he hasn't been in there that long, I don't think. Yeah, I don't get it. Sorry. Where do they come from? It's like I do not understand where some of these people come from. It's like, do you have no training? Did you not take any of the college courses? Did you not understand what goes into law enforcement? Oh, seriously, if you are in law enforcement, if you are younger, go find a used bookstore, find a couple of criminal justice 101 books, find yourself a criminal procedures, U.S. constitutional limitations. Let's see. An introductory book into criminal evidence. Um, Things like that. That way you start wrapping your head around because you're going to get called on the carpet, whether it be through the department, whether you're going to have to show up in court. It's good to have that knowledge. It's good to be able to say, okay, I know my case doesn't suck. I did everything right. You're going to get people who think they know things, at least like my husband's former department. Um, they were good about staying on top of stuff. Any new changes, they would roll stuff out. They would have a training program in place. They would make sure people got in and got on the computers and did the training program. They kept their certifications up because they had gotten themselves, not any of the sheriffs that he ever worked with, but the previous ones had gotten themselves in trouble. And so I I'm gonna have to read that in here in a second. Um, but they stayed on top of that. If you were, I mean, sometimes you can't help it because emergencies happen and you can't get it done in a certain time frame because there are certain bookings. So, yes, there are exceptions. Oh, hang on. Sorry, that was the husband wondering about the doggy's appointment. No, he does not go to the vet until the 16th. He's got a week. Glove box books. Which glove box books? I would love to find a whole bunch of like the pocket constitutions, but the company that's been selling them, I don't like them. And I haven't been able to find anybody. Oh, the pocket DSM. They're not going to just. I want to smack them for you. How's that, Kelly? I want to smack them for you. A lot of people don't. I've thought I thought about just kind of making them so I can just distribute them myself because that is fair use. So I may just print a whole bunch out because I do have the for the pocket DSMs or the constitutions. Because when I was looking not that long ago, it was like $5 for two, I think, for a while there. Oh, I'm sorry, Rudy. Kelly, you're gonna have to get me that link when you get a chance. Here we go again. This is what happened last time, this time of night. He started getting into the fridge. Started making noise. At least so far the boy is not barking. No. He's just staring out in the hallway. Yeah, I would love to, you know, make a help fund some of the pocket constitutions. Cuz it's like we have the 18th coming up. And I think that would be fine. Who somebody had stickers the other day too about I cannot remember what it was. I literally just watched it. Knowing your rights. I know the ACLU has some like that, but this was like a bicycle group out of DC that they were going through and putting them on things, and it's like I don't want to put them cuz I don't know what the rules are for that. So I'd have to actually look before I stuck it to anything. Cuz I don't want to make anybody's job harder if they have to go scrape it off. Yeah. So it's like the stickers and stuff I don't mind, but I'd rather just give people flyers, for things like that because it's like but if you're going to trash, and make it one-sided so people can actually then turn around and write something on the back of it. How much stuff gets stuck in my purse that I end up making notes on and going, "Hey, I'm so glad I had that." Hi, baby. Come on. Come back in here. Come back and lay down. Oh, he stirred him up, so now he's going to go find a way to bark. I should have taped him into his chair. Not the dog, my husband. Yeah. There's got to be things, but I'm not out of the house that much. Yeah. It's tough. When we lost my little soul girl, man, I still occasionally just have bouts where it's like, oh my God, I miss her. And then we lost Dolly in June, and it was like, that was tough. It was like all my seniors are gone, and like this little dude, we only got him because of Dolly, and now he's literally an only kid. I mean, and here he had just been attacked in April, so it's like he's a little bit tougher to find a buddy for. I have to find a buddy for my buddy. I don't know. I don't know if, well, Kelly might remember. Do you remember the little Rudy? You're close enough in age too. You may remember. My buddy and me That was like back in the 80s or early 90s. My little brother had one like that, and what was popular? Teddy Ruxpin. That was another thing that was popular. Totally, I am totally sidetracked here. So anyway, if law enforcement stumbles across this, please, or people who don't know how to deal with law enforcement, and you're in a situation with them, talk to them as people. Don't yell at them. Don't yell at them. They are humans, just like you are. And you may not like what they're doing for their job and everything else. And I get that. But you gotta stop escalating things. And I'm going to be called fascist. I've been called a Nazi because I believe about, treating humans as humans. I mean, I see the human in front of me. I know that so many of them went into it with a good heart. And there's some that don't get me wrong, and I will call those out. But I also don't make a snap judgment on any of these things, except for, like I said earlier, seeing that officer on that roof shooting at that priest with the pepper ball. That that tells me no training. You have somehow either forgotten your training, didn't get the proper training, and are probably not qualified for your job. So, people who are dealing with getting this information, I'm going to tell you, you need to start asking who the officer in charge is. That's the OIC. A PIO is your public information officer. You can also talk to them. Do these people have arrest authority in the locations they're at? And right now, if you are with the National Guard, you do not have arrest authority. You cannot make arrests unless you see something happen in front of you and that jurisdiction you are in has citizens arrest power. And not everywhere does. People forget that. Um, and I'm going to say, like the civilian review boards, we're going to have to start seeing more of these. Every major area should have a civilian review board. And they shouldn't just be civilians who don't know law enforcement. You should try to find people who know the other side in law enforcement. I would love for you to have a retiree there who understands what it's like to be in that officer's position so they can explain it to you. I would love for you to either have like one of the spouses who deal with the stress of what comes home when they've had a bad day. A lot of people forget about that. Um, but the civilian review boards and news and media and things like that, you are going to have to start asking, um, are they qualified with the arrest authority? You are going to have to start requesting use of force reports because if they're not filling those out, things aren't being done properly. Are they post certified? What certifications do they have? What are their training records and reports show? When was the last time they went through arrest and control? What is their advanced training? Have they been trained on non lethal? And what are their certifications and what does their training record show? If they are in a lethal capacity where they can carry, what are their certifications? What are their training records? When was the last time they qualified with the actual firearm that they are using? Do they have a backup firearm? When was the last time they qualified for that? There are so many things that go into this that people don't understand. So that's why I'm saying I would love for like the civilian review boards to make sure that they have, and not a confrontational officer who has retired and just still has the chip on their shoulder, because a lot of them do have a chip on their shoulder. They're from a different dynamic. Um, I cannot remember who was it. Ohio. One of the officers was doing YouTube videos on his off time and explaining things, and he he made some offhanded remarks, and it was very dark humor. And I understand it. I can I grew up through construction. My husband retired military. I was the mom of the group, and then looking back, I was either the same age or younger than most of the guys in his department with on his ship. My boat people. It's a big joke if you don't know. Um, but I didn't realize at the time that I was younger than most of them. But I was the mom of the group. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem calling, respect what they do, respect who they are. But when they show you that they're crossed the line, take 2 steps back. Reevaluate. That's why I think I've like the stuff coming out of Portland when they're out in the street, and they're not surging on the vehicles. They're letting them go in and out. Um, for the most part, it has been a fun, like, party atmosphere, and I would love to see more of, like, the local neighborhood, because it is in a, like, residential area where this facility is. It's not like where you would think, like, where LA, where they've got the big highway, and that is completely, like, industrial and business. Where they have stuff over in Portland is pretty much in a residential area. So I keep getting a flash here. I'll have to pay attention. Um, so the little frog crowd, them showing up in the inflatables, I'm sorry, you gotta laugh at it. They've stayed on the sidewalk as far as I'm concerned, or they've stayed out of like on the street because it's legal there, where they can be out on the street as long as they're not blocking traffic. And I would rather see that than what we saw before. I think of like the stuff that happened after George Floyd. I don't blame a lot of people for that. I'm sorry, but there were instigators. And that's where I don't want us to go again, where you're getting the troublemakers. Okay. Is that what it is? I keep seeing like a flash where it says, I have an excellent connection. Then all of a sudden I'll get a flash somewhere. So we may end up losing it again tonight. I hope not. I'm sick of being down this last couple of days. Um, and that's maybe we probably lost Rudy too. Rudy. So don't stress, Kelly. Don't stress. I can sit here and talk to myself, or I can shut it down because I am not covering. Ooh, a car accident? I'm sorry. I hope everybody's okay. Did Rudy get. Rudy talked about poor little honey. And then he went away. It's so hard. It's so hard losing an animal. So, yeah. I mean, I think I need to start talking more about like the law enforcement stuff, the military stuff. Some of these, I look back and I was just a young, stupid kid when I married my husband. I didn't know I didn't know shit about shit, but I learned. And that's what all of them are, all the kids are going to have to do. And I hate calling you guys kids, but you are younger than me. So technically, I'm going to be like the old farts and call everybody younger than me a kid. And I think that's what it is. As you get older, you don't pay attention to like modern music because you're not out and about listening to things. You're not going to the clubs and hearing the new music. Hell, even the radio stations. Most of the ones I listen to are all like, I don't know, 2000s and earlier. I mean, I can't go into like grocery stores anymore without hearing a song I know from when I was a kid. I mean, that's like fine music. I mean, that's like elevator music now. That's when you know you start getting old, when things like that. And then like the new movies, you don't kind of pay attention to the new movies and stuff. And like the actors and actresses, I don't keep up with them. Yeah, I just don't. I just don't keep up with that stuff like we did when we were younger because that's I mean, we revolved around stuff like that. And I mean, it's like I can't blame the younger generation for doing the same thing. I just, I see so many people like my age and older bitching about the younger generations. And it's like, did you forget about the older than you generations that bitch about you? And you're turning around and doing the same thing? Why would you do that? You didn't like it when they did it to you. Why are you doing it to them? I, you know, I feel sorry for the kids these days. They didn't have the technology. We don't have the technology. Well, we could have the technology they have, but we didn't grow up with it. So we didn't learn it. So, but they also didn't know what we had for technology. And it's like, I see parents doing these things with their younger kids now. Yeah. I, I have never been one to tell artists if a song comes on the radio, I'm not going to probably be able to tell you the name of the song, and most time I'm not going to be able to tell you the artist. That has never been in my wheelhouse. If the song comes on and it makes me happy and I want to dance, I'm probably going to listen to it. I may know nothing about it, but that's the way it is. Oh my goodness. So if you get a cut off, it's okay. I will be back in like 2 minutes. I got to go throw a toy. I'll be right back. Okay, he's got his toy. He was getting rambunctious. Oh, yeah. I think that just I didn't recognize it like in my grandparents so much, but like my parents, I noticed it more. And then now it's like I do the same thing. I don't pay attention to what's going on now. It's funny. I understand now why. Oh, Kelly, poor you. So, okay, well, I'll close that one. And let's see, what do I want to bring up? Uh, shall we talk about the Democratic Party? Shall I bring it up? Because I didn't realize how much yeah, you do have electricity at least. I I'm gonna have to talk to you about that, Kelly. I'm gonna have to talk to you. Um, who you have for service out there? Because you're on what, satellite, or are you just on the cell phone plan for your internet? Because that's I'm gonna have to find a new cell phone plan. Was it this one? Yeah, this all just kind of changed this last 2 weeks. So it's like they're finally working on this again. Um, was it this? How we were talking last time. They've been changing it. I mean, they talked about the different committees and things like that. Um, so like what we were talking about, where did I see it? Yeah, how we were talking about. Oh, Valley Electric for the internet. Um, we were talking about, we thought it was just like the statewide for like the certain committees and stuff, and it's actually all of them. They're they've committed from the local to the oval. I was impressed that they've changed this. I don't know if they changed a platform yet. Yeah, 2024 still. But I mean, it's still the same things. It hasn't changed. I don't like how this one is. There we go. This is better. It's like that should be highlighted. you know, they have added in the accomplishments. Yeah, they've updated this. I was very impressed that they finally. They are. I'm seeing more and more and more where they are. They've just been so hidden because of engagement, because of lack of engagement. I don't know if you have been watching um, the YouTube channel. Do, 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 do. Um, did you know that they've been hosting daily talks? Like 5 days a week? Yeah, and that's the thing. How do you get them to pay attention for some of them? Yeah, I literally have now turned on where it notifies me when they produce a new video, when something happens over here on their channel. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I mean, just like um the sad thing, like I love Blue Sky because it is so much more informative, friendly, but it's scattered. I don't think it is, Kelly. I don't think it's hopeless. I think we need to get more people talking about it because how do they not how do they know if we're not telling them? Same thing like with calling the locals. I feel like I am beating my head against the wall every time I call one of their offices. And it's like, why am I calling you again? Why am I calling you again? Yeah, I will. It's just if you type in the Democrats, it's at the Democrats on YouTube. That's their channel. Just like I'm saying on Blue Sky. It's tough on Blue Sky because there's not an algorithm, but it's good that there's not an algorithm because you can't get the false inflation of stuff. Where the only problem is there is not as much like interaction because you don't have that built-in engagement. They don't love you anymore. It's okay. I'd rather them not love me. I'd rather them um actually come and talk to people. I want them to I don't care if I don't know if you know or not, but somebody is hosting a telephone town hall tomorrow. And I just got an email on that earlier this evening. So, uh, do I need to forward that to you as well? Yeah, but let them. My whole thing is I don't care. Okay, I'll send that to you. It's Titus. Titus Teletown Hall, which is absolutely ridiculous because they never truly answer any question. That's all screened and we all know it. And it's like, why not just go online and host a live so people can actually chat to you and actually have people standing by to take and put questions in a forum for you so you can then do a newsletter that you could send out. Yeah. I don't care what other people think. I for myself. I know me. Dude, really? I don't know if you can hear that or not. He's chunking on a toy. I guess it's a good thing at least he's killed the squeaker in it. I need to find him a new ball. Um, my thing is, I will work with them. I will work with anybody as long as they're trying to do the right thing by all of our community. Um, quit trying to hurt people. Quit trying to drive up expenses. Could I'd rather build. I'd rather build than break. I'd rather retrofit than tear it all down and rebuild it if it's possible. Um, because that's me. I would love to know what more people outside of my small little group what they actually want to see out of the party. Yeah. And I think that's you know what? It's kind of nice being like the oh my goodness, you okay? Kind of being on a little bit of the outside because I don't have to be the rah rah cheerleader. I don't have to fake smile at anybody that I may not like. I'm over that. I'm an old lady. I don't need you to be my friend, and if you are, that's fine. But I don't expect you to back me 100% on anything. Oh my God, that toy is starting to sound like, do you remember the little kid booger suckers? That's what that toy is starting to remind me of. He's killed the squeaker in it, so now it's just going, oh, yeah. Eh, it's freedom, Kelly. There's freedom to where you can criticize. That's what it sounds like. I can't help it. Um, criticize or find a workaround that works better, you know? Because when you're in it, when you're doing something and you're fully focused on it, you may not be paying attention. So it's like, that's where, like, people like you and I and others, where we can have these conversations and I'm not stuck to one finite point. I'd rather give people the benefit of the doubt. I'd rather them be able to let's sit and talk about it. Oh, I see that you. Oh, yeah. And that's the way we're going to have to do it. I think that is um, stick up for what we need to stick up for and things like that. Hey, Spike, how are you? We're talking politics. You probably want to cover your ears. Oh, I may have lost Kelly. Bless you. You probably didn't hear me because of headset. I don't know, Spike. Bye, Kelly. I'm showing an excellent connection. I'm showing a 4200 bit rate. So, Kelly, we'll talk soon. I will make sure that I send that over to you later. In fact, let me write a note to myself so I actually don't forget to forward email to Kelly. Titus email. Spike, what are you up to these days? You still here? You want to talk politics? Everybody should be talking politics right now. Oh, I hate to, but we need to. I may. Yeah, I'm still showing connected. Oh, I should remember. Spike takes forever to answer anything. He's probably in his car or out fiddling around or doing 42 things at one time. Thank you, little man. You done with your toy now? That was it? So, well, at least got part of what I wanted to cover. Are you? Well, then you and Kelly should be having some conversations. Are you not doing the DJ stuff anymore? Well, probably this economy, probably not. Are you? Aw, thank you for doing that. You got your phone. You had to just, talk and text. But I can't even bring you up on the comms because you don't even use the Discord. Be nice because I still need to test that. Get you one of those little attachable mini keyboards. That would be that would be fun. Oh my god, it is almost 2 a.m. So I actually won't be staying on very long. But if you still have Discord, you know how to reach me on Discord, so just send me a message. Are you used to the tablet or the phone screen? I'm so used to just the keyboard. Just pull the keyboard. And my phone because I broke my tablet. It was only a little cheapy fire tablet. Yeah, that's the next thing. I need to mount my other monitor. So hopefully in the next week, now that we've got some things running, I use it a lot for YouTube because I listen to things and I just stick it in my pocket. It's like plug the headphone in and just listen. So, what do you do? Well, if you're working, what are you doing up this late? If you're Are you working days? Or is it just you're an insomniac like all of us? So many of us. And what's going on right now does not help anybody. Oh, you're fine. Get your toy. Oh, you have my Discord. You know how to reach me. I need to sit down and pre plan what I want to talk about for the next time I go live. And hopefully, I can get the YouTube and the Twitch working to where the YouTube isn't privatized. And hopefully, it'll work that way. Yeah, that's basically what it is. You know what? It's just noise. like there'll be times where I'll just turn on like music because I need that. But like, there's a couple of like books, audiobooks that I kind of listen to on repeat when I want to chill out. Oh, wow. Got it. Well, that's a good thing. At least you get to stick to your nights and are not having to kind of transfer back and forth. Because if you did want to take a gig, here we go. Words are hard. You wanted to take a gig on one of your nights off, you could still, right? Yeah. I tend to listen to a lot of podcasts. Oh, speaking of, I just saw Governor Newsom, and I hope it goes nationwide. Is putting in to where they're going to actually have to fix commercials again, like it was when it was fixed and then it was taken off again, where the commercials are going to have to be a reasonable level. I saw that and it was like, that excites me. That excites me. It's like no more blown eardrums out trying to reach over and grab the mute button. I dislike that. So, okay, it is after 2 a.m. I'm going to go take the little boy outside. I'm going to go finish working on what I need to cover for the next time because I'm sure shit'll hit the fan again the rest of the week. And hopefully, I can get the Meld Studios. And if anybody's out there who knows Meld Studios, please find me an instruction guide that helped me get this thing working properly. I hate that I cannot get the Twitch and the YouTube going at one time, and I cannot get my stinking chats to show up where I put them, and then also in the Meld Studio. It's like every time I turn around, it's like they're broken. I don't like it. It stinks. I want it fixed. So, thank you everybody who stopped in. I know Rudy was here earlier. Kelly, as always, thank you very much. Spike, thank you for dropping in. I will hopefully be back in like 1 or 2 days and try to work it again. I'm going to try to fix what I need to fix tomorrow because every time I fiddle with this, it seems I break something else. I had been trying to go a little bit earlier, but shit happened tonight. So, whatever. Because I like to go for like 2 hours. And tonight I'm not going to because I had everything else chaos earlier. So I would like to start going from like midnight to like 2 a.m. Pacific. Maybe even, 11 to, So we'll see. If I can get the kinks worked out of this program, it would be great. Because I don't want to pay, I just don't want to pay $500 a year to use StreamYards, even though it makes it so much easier. I just don't want to pay that. It was different when it was like 200 and what was it, $240 for as little as I use it. That was reasonable to me. To pay like almost $500, yeah, no, I don't want to pay that. So, good night. Have fun.